Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Help for the Guildless. My name, of course, is Antoine, but I happen to not be by myself today. I have a special guest. I will let him introduce himself in the best way possible.
Hey everyone, this is Brockus from the upcoming show Brockus Talks, and I am specifically here to talk about some subjects that are pretty near and dear to me, but also something that falls in line with what Antoine has a tendency to talk about. Not necessarily it's a bad thing. I've actually been watching and a fan of his show for quite some time now, so why don't we get into it?
Stop it, you're making me blush. So, we get to talk about something I don't often get to talk about unless I choose to, and that is comics. Comic shows, comic books, comic movies. Everyone loves a good comic, except for apparently Marvel, but we'll get into it. So, what did you have in mind?
Well, one of the obvious and most popular things right now when it comes to comic books, aside from the comic books themselves, is the live-action adaptations, television shows, movies, and so on. One of the most popular things for DC right now is their TV series on the CW, Arrow, Flash, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, and upcoming Black Lightning.
And I am a fan of all four, and I'm sure I'm going to be a fan of the fifth one. And like most of DC, I know nothing about the stories, so that's good for me. I get to go in and see all the new lore.
What we have in store is I'm going to be discussing the small little things that DC has done that makes me question the direction of the shows. So in Season 2, we are reintroduced with the character of Sarah Lance, which, not a big deal because she's apparently a member of the League of Assassins, which is actually smart because this is the introduction to a character not a lot of people know about, named the White Canary. So in Season 1, it is established that Sarah is dead. And in Season 2, she comes back, and suddenly she's alive and well. And it turns out that she had her own little adventures where she joined the League of Assassins. Why am I talking about this? Well, I'm giving you a bit of backstory, because this actually is detrimental to the story. In Season 2, Sarah reestablishes and rekindles her relationship with Oliver Queen. The two of them start dating again. Now, is this abnormal? No. But later in Season 2, we discover that Sarah was in a gay relationship with one of the daughters of Ra's al Ghul. Nyssa.
As hot as that is, it seems to be an issue.
It's not that much of an issue at first because, you see, when they present the concept that Sarah Lance is in fact bisexual, it's very interesting. The idea is that she's always had the tendencies, but she never had the reason to give in to those other instincts. It is now all of a sudden a thing. Sarah is bisexual because she's in a relationship in Season 2 with Oliver Queen and just got out of a relationship with Nyssa, her lover from the League of Assassins, and yes, the daughter of Ra's al Ghul. Now, as the story continues, Nyssa not once gives any hint that she will ride the pink pony. She seems to prefer the fish taco all through and through. Like, just... You giggle all you want, but still.
Unprofessional, I understand, but still.
The show pretty much is well establishes the fact that Nyssa is a full-on lesbian, that she does not actually have any sexual preferences or any sexual desires towards men. Sarah, on the other hand, obviously goes back and forth. She has a preference to both. She doesn't have a specific preference, although as Season 2 kind of gives the idea, maybe she does prefer the default setting of dick, but she loves to go to the other side of the field and play ball there. Not a big deal, right?
It would seem so.
Then other things start to happen. Now, in Season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow, we are presented in the very first episode with an unfortunate crisis. And I can't remember exactly how the ship is in danger, but basically the ship is in danger because why fucking not? It's a DC TV show, it's the CW.
We need something bad happening to get the team back together again.
Exactly. And this was DC's way of actually taking Rip Hunter out of the main protagonist's story arc because all of Season 1 was pretty much purely
about him.
Yeah. And I like the fact that they're giving other characters a chance to develop more. Now, granted, they had a lot of really good character development in Season 1. So, in Season 1, when we see that everybody is in a time displacement situation, They ignore the actual real threat of being stuck in a time for a prolonged period of time. Ray Palmer almost instantly is just like, hey, look, there's my spaceship. And I'm like, you know what? This can call back to the fact that Ray Palmer has an amazing will and constitution. Fantastic. But we've already seen Sarah give in to the fucking lust of living in that time. Do you know what they did with her?
I do believe she seduced Mary, Queen of France, or...
No, in 1693, Salem, Oregon. Salem, Oregon. Does anyone actually know what that time period was, 1693?
If I'm correct, and I usually am, that was the witch burnings.
Yes! Sarah Lance was about to be burned at the stake for her crimes of, and I shit you not, fucking the women of the village. They called it corruption. We know what she really did. Because she gave a wink and a gun to one girl who then just did that. And I'm thinking to myself, why is that other bitch not being burned too? She's just being left alone. But Sarah, the one in the red fucking shirt and black dress, is about to be burned alive. And then they pick her up because she just kicked the shit out of a bunch of fucking, zealots.
Men.
I was going to say zealots. But
Let's be honest what it was. It was girl power to the point of her kicking the shit out of every man in the village.
Well, the majority of the protagonists in comic books and in the TV shows tend to be men, so I'm not exactly going to just sit there and be like, how dare you hit men? Fuck that.
I am being facetious.
I understand. No, it's completely understandable. I just wanted to play a little bit of, it's not what you think it is. But as the actual show continues, they eventually all gather back up. They go through the time streams. The show continues on, and eventually this wonderful thing happens where DC, because of all their shows, likes to do in the middle of the seasons, well, not in the middle of the seasons, but in the middle of the current season, they throw in a crisis scenario. This is where it's giving CW the excuse to actually bring the four shows, Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow, together for one major crisis. And they've been doing this since the introduction of DC's Legends of Tomorrow, except this is the first time Supergirl has actually been a part of it.
Alright, so we have a good base of back history. So is your problem that they're not representing a lesbian well in Sarah Lance, or are you upset that they're making her a slut?
My problem comes with the fact that DC has once again stumbled into this sort of scenario where, well, and I wouldn't say once again, but this is where writers don't know what the fuck they're doing. They've ruined a character by basically saying that this awesome, amazing, strong, powerful, bisexual woman is now a full-on lesbian who's a fucking slut. Okay. And they don't know how to fucking continue writing this character. Yeah, she's strong, she's a leader, and she's amazing throughout the rest of the season and everything when she becomes captain. But I always had an issue with that. Like, wait, why is Sarah such a slut in the first episode? She's smarter than this. She wouldn't have done that. What makes you think that was a good idea, DC?
Well, they continue that when they go to King Arthur's court. She courts Marion, and Marion is very accepting. Guinevere. I meant Guinevere. I know what I'm talking about. Wrong story. I'm sure she'd go after Marion as well.
We're basically given the impression that Sarah Lance is going to fuck all the ladies of the past. It was very, very insulting. And then, to the entire episode, have Sarah and Guinevere have these little looks at each other like, girl,
oh no, they full-on kissed at the end of the episode.
Yeah, but throughout the episode, you didn't see it coming because, even though they were just like, I fucking the shit out of each other, still, it wasn't until, the line, I like you, Sarah. I like you, Sarah Lance. A lot. Sarah Lance a lot. And I've lost my goddamn mind. I was just like, you fucking cunts. How dare you? And then they kiss, and I'm just like, are you trying to tell me that if Sarah shows up at any point in time, any female automatically on, the rug munching fucking train, the finger blasting train, they just want to take their fist and cunt punch her until she's fucking done?
Okay, so I'm trying to understand your rage at this. Is it, again, because they're portraying her as slutty and they don't understand how to write the strong female lesbian character, or is it that they don't understand that not every single hot female has to bang the strong hot female character?
Actually, it's both of those. Because while we're dealing with this in season 2 of pretty much what I'm calling the fucking shit show, DC's Legends of Tomorrow is dealing with slutty Sarah Lance that's pretty much trying to fuck every woman in time, and they're ruining her character doing this, and just insultingly destroying some of my favorite characters from the whole Camelot aspect. But we're not exactly devoid completely of another actual lesbian character, a full-on lesbian character who has never actually had a relationship with a man, Nyssa. Nyssa, still fucking badass. Nyssa, still a lesbian, and is not going around fucking every woman she can.
And at the end of season 6 of Arrow? 5 of Arrow, she shows herself to be extremely strong. Very driven. So what could DC do to possibly solve this problem? Aside from just having a chastity belt slapped on Sarah's nether regions.
To be honest, they've already done enough damage. They've insulted me, and they've insulted any lesbian and or gay viewer by basically giving the impression that the second you go gay, you go whore. Really? Nyssa has been gay since day one. Again, not once has anything been hinted at that, yeah, she parties with dudes and will fucking dick you down and all that stuff. Like, she'll fuck you in the ass and she'll get fucked in the ass, all that stuff. Nothing has ever given us the impression that Nyssa likes anything other than women. Because even Malcolm Merlyn once again makes a joke at the end of season 5, you're not her type. When the Captain Boomerang character, who also was very insulting, makes jokes about how she's hot and he wouldn't mind having a roll in the hay with her. And of course, strangely enough, Malcolm Merlyn, who despises Nyssa, is actually defending Nyssa, which is weird. But still, I actually liked that because that gave more of a hint to say, yeah, no, she's a full-on lesbian. So why is it that one show respectfully has a character who's not going around finger blasting every woman, every hot woman she sees, and is just a fucking badass all around, and is this amazing character who I want more of?
Do you think it's because they have to focus so much on Sarah?
I think that because Sarah is a main protagonist versus a backstory protagonist like she was originally, yeah, I think they have to do a little more story for her. And the thing is that touching into her sexuality like that was insulting because, once again, I have gay friends. They probably didn't think anything of it, but at the same time, who's to say they didn't find that incredibly insulting? Like, I really like the Sarah Lance character. She's really cool. I mean, she's not a full-on lesbian or whatever, but hey, let's go ahead and just, ride this fucking vagina train straight into Awesomeville.
And then season 2 happens.
And it's just like, are they saying that gay people are just nothing but, like, moralist whores?
I think that has more to do with Hollywood and its writing.
It has issues, yeah.
I don't know the ratio of LGBT writers in Hollywood, but I do believe they need to have more of them since they are continually adding more and more LGBTQ2 plus S pi to the third power characters into every single show.
My brain hurt. You just said that, and now I can't think for this. I found a phone.
So I think, from my opinion of it, I think Sarah Lance is a very uninteresting character.
Now.
I like Rory.
Yeah,
Rory is amazing. I also got a very deep affinity for the Rogues Gallery of the Flash, of the Rogues, because of Captain Cold.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And it was the way that it was portrayed, and to see him... Spoiler alert, since it's already been a year and a half, he dies at the end of the first season. I was very upset.
Yeah, but they are bringing him back.
I understand that, but I'm happy if they're bringing him back because I enjoy the actor and I enjoy the way they portray him. But going back to this LGBT thing, it's not necessarily that they don't know how to portray that community. It's the writers don't understand the community because they don't have those type of writers. And I think DC found a very good established ensemble cast in The Flash. Cisco, Killer Frost, Barry, all of them. Mm-hmm. They tried to take that fun and fancy-free attitude into Legends, except they went to the extreme. If it's good in one, having more of it in this one will be better.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they have the problem. And that's why we have Sarah the Hawk.
Truthfully speaking, how that should have really gone down is send Rory into time, and Sarah, being the leader-like character she is, could have stayed on the ship and explained everything to Ollie and everybody else, and pretty much, led everybody to go and find the rest of the crew, and that would have given us, from episode 1, the idea that Sarah should definitely be the new captain and leader of the freaking Wave Rider. But no, DC decided to go the route, or at least the CW writers for the show, go the route of, hey, let's just insultingly, spit in the face of gay people. While at the same time, the writers for Arrow, at that exact same timeline and season, were
writing a better character.
Yeah, we're still appropriately creating and writing Nyssa into the story once again, and she is fucking awesome. So it's insulting. It's insulting on multiple fronts. Not only do they completely eliminate a character that I'm actually a fan of, but they're also insulting an actual group of people, a gay community, to basically say, yeah, we think you're all a bunch of whores and bitches. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that makes me feel good, DC. Why don't you go ahead and tell me how fucking much of a piece of shit I am because I was born a specific way. That's great.
What are your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. DC is going to have to do a bit of retconning or some nice changes to DC's Legends of Tomorrow. I think that they should reintroduce Nyssa and Sarah Lance into an established relationship. If they truly want to go down the route of Sarah being a full-on lesbian, then for the love of God, give her a girlfriend. Hashtag give Sarah Lance a girlfriend.
You heard it here, folks. Brand new hashtag, give Sarah a girlfriend.
So that's how I think they would establish and fix their insulting way of, presenting a lesbian character. As for the rest of the show, I think if they don't spit in the face of the fans of both the comic books and the shows, they'll be able to pull off the whole Connor Hawk future thing much better. Because now that whole timeline has been erased.
So what you're saying is you don't have a problem with Black Wally West.
No.
You don't have a problem with Black Connor Hawk.
No.
But as a cis straight white man, you are saying you have a problem with how they portray the LGBT community.
I am actually saying I have a problem with the fact that how they are portraying the LGBT community is very insulting with that Sarah Lance crap in Season 2.
All right, you've heard it here. Give this man a medal, the Nobel Peace Prize. This is a cis white male who has a problem how Hollywood is portraying the oppressed. I happen to agree with him. I think they need to fix Sarah Lance. And I have no problem with Wally West or Connor Hawk. And I have no problem with Connor Hawk because I honestly had no idea who the fuck he was.
He's a pretty interesting character.
But, well, I don't know anything about him. Like, that's why I enjoy Arrow. And I know a little bit more about The Flash, but that's why I enjoyed Arrow, because it tells me a little bit more about the characters.
True.
That's why I enjoyed Legends of Tomorrow. I got to meet these characters that I knew nothing about. Mm-hmm. It's why I enjoy Supergirl, because even with the we haven't talked about Supergirl.
We didn't have to talk about Supergirl. I don't watch Supergirl, and it's not because I don't want to, it's because I have no ability to.
Oh, no, they have a lesbian character in Supergirl, her sister.
Kara Zor-El's sister is gay?
Yes.
Kara Zor-El doesn't have a sister.
The sister that she was raised with.
Kara Zor-El still doesn't have a sister.
They do in this one.
Alright, fine.
But yes, quite out of nowhere, there's a lesbian cop who they write very well. She's same like Nyssa. She's gorgeous. She's independent. She's very strong-headed. She's a detective. She's dealing with aliens all over the place. She knows them. She's protecting them. She's going after them. The whole thing. Kara meets this person. And her sister, who works for the DEO. The DEO meets her as well, and suddenly her sister starts questioning her sexuality. And then comes to the realization that she's been a lesbian all along.
Okay, fair. That actually does happen in real life. What happened with Sarah and her sexual preferences is something that does actually happen in real life. Women go through the motions and they actually find themselves being attracted to men, and they have sex with men, they have relationships with men, but then they meet that one woman who suddenly changes their entire world. And even if it's not still that one woman consistently through their life, Example, Harley Quinn.
But what they're doing is exactly what you want them to do with Sarah. They're in a relationship. They're not necessarily a great stable relationship because of all of the action that they go through, but it's for heroes, it's a stable relationship. They have their problems, they've had arguments, they've had a bunch of things happen, and I will say this, her coming out to her mother was one of the best episodes that they had, and it was very emotionally impactful. You got to, and I can't remember the actress's name, but she portrayed the nervousness and how apprehensive she was about telling her mother something this big was done exceptionally well. So we have a very strong independent lesbian character on Arrow. We have two strong independent lesbian characters on Supergirl. It just seems to be Legends of Tomorrow writers have no fucking clue what they're talking about.
Yes, I will add into this pot, there is a gay man and a gay couple in Arrow from season 4
That's
into 5.
True, very true.
I forgot about Mr. Terrific. That was, oh my god,
and
when
then
his husband left him.
Oh, I was so sad.
Oh, it was the most heartbreaking episode I had seen.
Because he was so excited they were getting together. He thought they were getting back together. He was upset because he was going to be late. And he's just so in love with him. And then heartbreak. It destroyed him.
Oh, it was just... Arrow, I love that show, not necessarily always because of the action. The action is fucking phenomenal. But the action is phenomenal. But what I love about Arrow is they really punch you in the heart with the feels.
They do.
And they made me, oh my god, I was almost in tears. I was just like, oh no, his husband's leaving him. Oh, it's so terrible. I didn't give a shit that they changed a character that was never gay in the comic books into a gay man, because I thought that was absolutely wonderful. He was dorky. He was nerdy. He stumbled on his words. He was weird and awkward, and he's gay. And I was like...
And one of the most intelligent people on the planet.
So intelligent. He created technology based off of alien tech a little bit, but still technology that, when you think about the possibilities, his T-spheres are so fucking cool.
So, I guess my final thoughts would be, the Legend of Tomorrow writers need to get together with the Arrow writers and the Supergirl writers.
Oh, absolutely.
And just basically get bitch slapped a couple of times.
Yes.
Because out of the 4 series, they have writers that are really good at what they're doing on 3 of the shows. Mm-hmm. And then one show insults the entire community.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That one show, that one character who was originally really fucking awesome, he's now just a gigantic spit in the face to an entire group of people.
I agree. Is there anything else that you would like to say to the audience that will be listening?
I will be recording my very first episode of Brockus Talks relatively soon. I'm not exactly sure when I'll be doing it, this weekend, next weekend. By the way, my weekends are not the same as how people see weekends. My weekends are Sundays through Tuesdays. Those are the days I actually have off. But I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to be recording the first episode. But it will be up as soon as I can possibly get it up.
Well, I definitely will be looking forward to it. And I will link your channel down below. Aside from that, is there anything we can expect from your channel? Are you just going to be talking comics and movies? Or are you going to be talking social commentary? Are you going to be all around everything?
I'm going to try not to do too much social commentary just because there are so many great channels out there that already do it. You guys all do social commentary so much, I feel like adding another voice to it, okay, fine, but I don't want to do that all the time. I do want to talk about comic books. I do want to talk about movies. I want to talk about video games, and I want to talk about stupidity. I'm actually going to be doing mostly for what I like to call comedy skits, making fun of stupid ideologies. I will be going after everybody. I'll go after feminists, I'll go after alt-righters, I'll go after MGTOWs, and I'll go after SJWs. If I'm going to make fun of somebody, there is no holding back for me. I'm coming at it from the center, and I'm punching on all sides.
Well, I know I will definitely be looking forward to it. So, this has been Help for the Guildless. I've been joined by Brockus. My name, of course, is Antoine. We'd love to know what you have to say. So if you have anything to add to any of this, let us know in the comments. I will relay everything to Brockus. And check out his channel. Subscribe to him now before he gets too big. because then you can actually make fun of him and he'll respond. If you would like to follow me, or do you want me to put your social medias in the description as well, or do you just want your channel link?
Yeah, go ahead. Channel links, social media.
Alright, if you want to follow me or Brockus or anything else on the social medias, the links will be down below. Thank you again for listening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Antoine. I've been joined with
Brockus.
and we both hope you have a wonderful evening.